What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the Us vs. Them YouTube channel. I'm your host, Vince, and in this video, I'm going to give you my official predictions for the preliminary fights that we have for UFC 323. And at the end of this video, I'm also going to give you my 3 parlays that I'm going to run this weekend. I feel really good about these parlays, and I feel really confidently that we're going to get some legs that hit. We just need 3 in a row that hit, for one parlay, and we win. So I'm really excited about this. So yeah, fuck it, let's get into it. Before we do that, if I could just remind you guys to like this video, subscribe to the channel, all that stuff. It just keeps us in the algorithm, pushes our channel and helps our really small channel grow. So if you like to run UFC bets, bet UFC, that type of shit, this is your channel. So subscribe and fuck it, let's get into it. When it comes to these predictions, I'm going to give you these more kind of rapid fire. I'm not going to give you big, long, drawn-out breakdowns, especially this close to the fight card. I'm just not going to do. Just for the sake of time, I'm not going to do that for you guys. So for Grant Dawson versus Manuel Torres, I got Grant Dawson on that one by decision. It's either that or submission. And I think really, honestly, you're just kind of picking as far as Grant Dawson winning. So I'm just kind of feeling decision for him. He's kind of proven to be a little bit of a decision merchant in his last few fights. So next fight up, we have Terrence McKinney versus Chris Duncan. This is going to be a sick fight. I'm really, really excited for this one. It's pretty much all but guaranteed that it's going to be a finish. This could age really poorly, but I highly doubt it. To be honest with you, if this is a couple years ago, I'd be all for Chris Duncan. But the momentum right now is on Terrence McKinney's side. He's been looking great. I mean, Duncan's been looking great too, don't get me wrong. They're both on the upward trajectory. But I'm going to go with Terrence McKinney on this one. I think he gets it done by knockout. Next up, we got Macy Barber versus Karine Silva. I'm picking Karine Silva just because of activity alone. I'm not super into picking WMMA. I've proven that I'm not very good at it, to be honest with you. So I'm going with Karine Silva because Macy Barber has been out for over 2 years for sure. So I don't like her inactivity. I know she's getting off injuries and stuff, but that getting off injuries is not how you typically win fights. So give me Karine Silva by decision. Next up, we got Faraz Sahim versus Nazim Sadikov. I'm going to go with Sadikov on this one. I think he's going to get it done by knockout. Sadikov, he's proven to obviously have, really, really high-level striking. And I just think that he's the more durable fighter between the two. I think if either guy gets hit clean, it's over for sure. But I think it takes a lot less for Zahim to get knocked out, even though he's never been knocked out before. When you look at these two dudes standing next to each other, Sadikov just seems like a more durable guy to me. So give me Sadikov, and I think he gets it done by knockout. After that, we have Marvin Vettori versus Bruno Ferreira. I've been leaning for Bruno Ferreira all week and leading up to this fight, even last week when I was doing my research. But the reality is he's missing weight. He's the smaller fighter, and he's also missing weight. And, that and coupled with the fact that Marvin Vettori, although hasn't been winning a lot of fights, he has taken a step down in competition in this fight. I don't think it's a huge step down, to be honest with you. I think Bruno Ferreira is really fucking tough. So I think this is going to be probably a really close fight. But give me Marvin Vettori to get this one done, 29-28. I think he can, might even be a split decision. But it's going to be, I think, a razor close fight. But give me Vettori by decision. Next up, we got Edson Barboza versus Jalen Turner. Edson Barboza is making a second fight at 155 to his return to 155. I think he's, probably that was a really good decision for him to bump up. And then we got Jalen Turner coming back after his, mock retirement, quasi-retirement, whatever you want to call that. He's only 30 years old, so I think we all kind of expected him to come back. But I think him retiring officially, getting a chance to mentally and physically actually recover and do all that stuff. I mean, when he was retired, he's not even getting, nobody's even knocking on the door for, drug tests and stuff like that. I mean, he's completely out of the game. I think that was a good idea for him. It seemed like he was getting burned out. So I think this is going to be the best version of Jalen Turner we've ever seen. So give me Jalen Turner to get it done by knockout. Next up, we got Ibo Aslan versus Iwo Barwanowski. Does this seem like the UFC always does this? Like they got Ibo versus Iwo in the same weight class, so they just match them up. Jeff Neal and Neil Magny. We got to have the battle of the Neils, that type of shit. Anyway, they always seem to do that type of shit. Just look out for that stuff. But anyways, let me get into my pick. Barwanowski has been finishing guys. He's got 4 knockouts and 2 submissions. And I think a lot of people are going to be leaning on him by knockout. But I think Ibo Aslan, that's where he's going to be the most dangerous, is in the striking, where he can also score his own knockout. So I can see some grappling being implemented by Iwo Barwanowski. And I think that it's going to open up the door for either a ground and pound or what I think is going to happen is a submission. So give me Barwanowski to get this one done by submission. Next up, we got second to last fight on the card. We got Mansour Abdul-Malik versus Antonio Tricoli. Biggest favorite on the card. I think this is pretty much a slam dunk. Give me Abdul-Malik to get this one done by knockout. Tricoli is a big giant dude for the division, but I don't think skill for skill that he is UFC caliber, to be honest with you. And Mansour Abdul-Malik, he hits like a fucking Mack truck, and he obviously is proving that he's UFC caliber. So I think he is going to improve to 3-0 in the UFC. Give me Abdul-Malik by knockout. This leads us to the first fight of the night. We have Muhammad Naimov versus Marion Santos. Give me Marion Santos to get this one done. I've been going back and forth on how he's going to get it done, but I think we're going to have more finishes to start the card, but I think towards the end of the card, we're going to have less and less finishes. So I just picked Naimov to get Santos to get this one done by knockout. It might be a decision. I don't have a whole lot of confidence in this one. You're not going to see it on the parlays. So if you want to tail this one, tail it at your own risk. All right, this leads me into my parlays. I'm really excited to get these parlays to you guys. And I'm going to try to keep this video as short as possible. So I'm just going to kind of crank this out rapid fire too. Parlay number one, leg number one. Give me Barwanowski by submission. That prop right now is sitting at plus 500, and I'm betting value on this prop alone. I think Barwanowski does have what it takes to get it done this weekend. He's going to win his debut fight. Makes me a little bit nervous to bet on a debut fighter on a parlay, but I think he's got what it takes to get it done. So Barwanowski by submission on this one. Leg number two, give me Peyton Talbot by points. I think he's going to get it done this weekend. I think Henry Cejudo, like a lot of guys who are going in expressing that it's their last fight, he's just not going to win this fight. I think he's not going to get knocked out because Henry Cejudo's got a giant fucking head, and he seems like he just can't get knocked out at bantamweight or bigger. He's definitely not going to get submission either. So Talbot by points, that's at plus 105. Leg number three, I got Guskov by knockout. That's at plus 200. This leg gives me a little bit of pause, a little bit. But the reality is, I just think Guskov is his momentum is heading up, and Jan Blachowicz, he's starting to look his age. So I think we're going to see Guskov kind of start to shine in this fight. So give me Guskov by KO plus 200. If you put $10 on this parlay, these three legs turn into $326, 32 extra money. Leg number two, I'm starting off with Pantoja by submission. That's sitting at plus 150. There is a reality where Pantoja goes in there and just runs through this guy. The grappling just might be too much of an advantage for him. And he could, like I said, just could go in there and just get the submission pretty early on, even a round one submission. So gotta sprinkle some of that in there. But we're going to hedge that with our next one, so stay tuned. Leg number two, I got Vettori by points. Again, I've been kind of wanting to fade Vettori. I've, cashed a lot of checks actually from fading Vettori recently. Just saying Vettori loses by decision. Seems to be kind of an easy pick recently. But this one, I think Vettori's going to get it done. I just think that he's the bigger fighter. And like I said, Bruno Ferreira missing weight and just not looking great. I think it's just, gives me more of a reason to start to lean on Vettori. So, and then leg number three, I got Terrence McKinney by knockout. I do think that somebody's getting finished in this fight, so we're already kind of leaning towards a knockout or submission from either fighter. So that's four possibilities. I really think, the more and more I break down the footage and these guys, I'm leaning towards McKinney. So it's either McKinney by submission or McKinney by knockout. I think McKinney's definitely going to take the path of least resistance, and it's going to be with the striking. So give me McKinney for the knockout at plus 340. If you put $10 on this parlay, $10 turns into $216. So that's 21 extra money. Parlay number three, this is my favorite parlay because it pays a lot more than the other two. So that's always awesome. So parlay number two, it starts off with Joshua Van by knockout. I think if Joshua Van gets this done this weekend, he could win by decision, but I think it's going to be harder for him to do that. I think he's more likely to get it done this weekend by knockout, especially some type of ground, like club and sub, not club and sub, but just knock him down and just kind of punch him into submission, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes the guys are just kind of stuck on bottom. They're just getting punched, and they're not really getting hurt, but the ref has to stop it because it doesn't look good. I can see one of those situations for Joshua Van this weekend. So give me Joshua Van KO plus 500. Leg number two, I got Moreno by points. The more I break down this fight, the more I think about this fight, the more and more I'm feeling really confident in Brandon Moreno to get it done. So I think Moreno is probably going to continue his decision streak. He tends to get a lot of decision wins, wins or losses, one way or the other. So I think we're going to continue that. So Moreno by points, that's at plus 165. And then leg number 3, give me Saudi Kolov by knockout. Like I said, I already made this as a prediction earlier, so I'm just gonna kind of ride with that one. That's sitting at plus 370. Again, this is more of a value pick, so I'm just adding that one in there. So you add these 3 legs together, put $10 on it. $10 turns into 814 bucks. That's 81 extra money. That's all I got for you guys. This video is plenty long enough, so I'm gonna keep the outro short. So I hope you guys enjoy the fights. Let me know if you guys are tailing this. If you do and it smacks, let me know for sure. And that's it. I'm the fuck out of here.